These are 10 of the hottest tools that you're going to find right now at Lowe's, including the brand new Bosch Expert Butter Smooth Glide Miter Saw, and a lot of hidden gems that a lot of you are walking by. You should pay attention to these. Let's go. Before we get started, I'd like to thank Lowe's for sponsoring this video. If you'd like to check out any of these tools, including this new miter saw and all these other hidden gems, links in the description, pinned comment, and of course, my TV viewers can scan that QR code or you can shop with that shop button right here on YouTube. Now let me show you these tools because every single one is just awesome. First on the list, a lot of people walk right by this little gem right here and they don't know the value they're missing. This is a Cobalt 6-gallon air compressor, comes with the hose and 3 nailers. You get a 16 and an 18 gauge nailer and you get a 23 gauge pin nailer. All this in a kit for an extremely good deal, especially if you're watching in July of 2026. Check those links for current prices. Now, what's the difference between these nailers? Well, a 16 gauge and an 18 gauge nailer, you can see here, the nail head's bigger on the 16 gauge. So the lower the number, the bigger the nail is kind of the way you think of it. So if you're really wanting some more holding power, you'd use that 16 gauge. So if you're nailing on baseboards and trim and things like that, you might want to look at the 16 gauge. But if you're building planters, things like that, especially if you're using glue as well, wood glue, you'd probably just grab the 18 gauge. One of the most used nailers in the shop for woodworking is an 18 gauge nailer. But one of my favorite little nailers is the 23 gauge nailer. It puts a tiny pinhole. That's why they call it a pin nailer. You may notice that the pin nails don't have heads. They're not meant for holding power. They're more meant to tack things on. Think of them like a thumbtack, like you're just tacking something on there while the glue dries. So if you're putting on like detailed trim, you don't want like giant nail holes to fill, stuff like that. That's where a little pin nailer comes in. Now these leave, just like I said, a little tiny hole versus the other two where you can see the nail hole of the head. So if you don't have any nailers, this is a great way to pick up 3 of the most common sizes, plus the air compressor and the hose. You'll be off to the races. Next on the list, the Bosch miter saw. Now this might be one of the most anticipated tool releases of the year, the new Bosch Expert Glide Miter Saw. This is a 12-inch dual bevel sliding compound miter saw. Now, if you want to see a full breakdown review of this, let me know in the comments of that. But I want to show you some of the awesome features on this. For one, it's one of the best looking saws I have ever seen. That black, silver, and blue with a little bit of a red touch there, here and there, just, it looks good. First thing I noticed was when I was unboxing it, the packaging on this, the way they protected it in shipping was next level. It was really well protected. It even had tissue paper around the handles and things like that. But overall, the fit and finish is solid here, and it has a few features I've never seen on a miter saw before. First up, the glide part. Oh, so butter smooth. Like it is. Whew, it is smooth. It's just a very smooth articulating saw. Now, one of the benefits of saws like this is you can mount them flush against the wall. So if you're in a wood shop, you have a miter station, you want to conserve that space, that flush mount's going to be key. But even traveling around on a job site, you don't have those giant arms sticking off the back like some saws do. Now this will bevel both ways, 47 degrees each way, and each side has a turret style depth stop so you can set up common angles there. So if you're doing trim and things like that, you got that preset, which I think is a really smart idea. And as far as smooth goes, I don't think I have ever had a miter saw go to the miters this smooth. Now you can turn on positive stops, and it does have positive stops at all the common angles along the way. We go 60 degrees one way, you can go up to 50 degrees the other way, and of course you get positive stop. But you can turn that positive stop off with that little switch right there on the side, and then we can just glide it to wherever we want and lock down any angle along the way with the lock handle on front. If you ever want to turn back on the positive stop, push button right there, pops it right back in place. We do have a depth stop here, so if you need to set up for any reason for a depth stop, and you can micro adjust that. We also have a shadow line. Thank you for the shadow line. I'm red-green colorblind, so I can't see certain shades of red and green, so some miter saws I can't see the laser. Everybody else can see it but me. But I am glad we get a shadow line here, and very bright. They say they brightened it so that if you are working in direct sunlight, you'll still be able to see the shadow. Pretty cool. Interesting enough, it comes with 2 dust boots, and it tells you right in the manual what each one of those are for. Basically thicker or thinner stock. I went ahead and put the long dust boot on mine. Very easy to swap out. It took me like 30 seconds. As far as adjustments on the miter saw, both of these wings will extend out left and right here, and one of the features I have never seen on a miter saw, if I've missed it before, let me know. This has a stop block that you can flip up on each one of these, and then if you're cutting a certain material stock, obviously it can only go out so far and in so far, but that will allow you to cut repeatable cuts without having to set up any stop blocks on the job or in your miter station or anything like that. pretty cool, especially for smaller or shorter pieces. And the wings glide out smoothly too. Both of these fences also move in and out. You'll want to make sure that you move those out before you do bevel cuts, because you don't want to cut your fence. It does come with a hand screw style clamp. Not my favorite style of clamps. I don't hardly use those much, but it is there if you need it. To turn on that shadow line, there is a button right on top. You flip that on and off, and it turns the light on or off. Overall, this is not a light saw, so if you are going to be transporting it to and from the job site, it's not overly heavy, but it's also not one of the lightest saws I've felt, but it does have nice, comfortable grab handles on the bottom if you need to do that. Let's fire her up and see what she's got. A lot of power there. You can feel the power. Soft start motor would have been nice, but not the end of the world either. That glide is just awesome. Now you can lock this also back here so that you don't have it gliding. It does kind of bump out a little bit to and from, as you see, but it will lock it, kind of like a chop saw style configuration. And it also has some trim settings, so if you're cutting crown or something like that, there's 2 settings back there on the back of the saw that you can lock in as well. Overall footprint, fully collapsed on this saw, you're looking at about 25¼ inches wide, about 34 inches deep, and then about 29 inches, a little over 29 inches tall. So fairly compact for a 12-inch miter saw. Now, as far as cutting goes, plenty of power to cut whatever you're going to be cutting with this. Chopped up some 2x4s really quick. One thing I noticed, dust collection was on point. I have a dust extractor hooked to the back of this thing, and because of this longer boot, and you can see the angle of the dust is actually going into the boot, which some kind of bounce off of the boot, some other saws. So I'm glad to see that it's the proper angle there. And it's collecting most of the dust. Now, it's a miter saw, so you're going to have a little bit of dust escape there. But when you slide this sucker, you're going to see quite a bit of sawdust, which I've seen on most every other miter saw that I've ever tested and used. When you slide them, for whatever reason, things change, like the angles change. So you wind up getting a lot more dust overspray from the back of the saw. Thankfully, it's not bouncing into your face or anything. It's going behind the saw. If that's a concern, then know that when you slide the saw, there's going to be a lot more dust escaping. I've seen this on every saw that I've ever tested, including some that are touted as the best dust collection saws. It's just a miter saw. It's the nature of the beast. But if you're just using it for basically a chop style saw, just straight down, dust collection is really good. Now again, sliding this saw is just a dream. It's just so smooth. But you get about 15 inches of cut capacity here, fully extended all the way out, and then of course sliding it back. A lot of capacity here with a 12-inch saw. Again, if you'd like to see a full review of this Bosch saw, let me know in the comments. Just comment Bosch, I'll know what you mean. Number 3 on the list, there are some hand tools you use in a wood shop or in a garage shop, around the house, a number of things you'd want some hand tools around, and these are all under $30 or right there around that $30 mark, and they're just extremely useful. They come in these nice VersaStack cases. These are from Craftsman. I've got a couple of different socket sets here that I really like. I picked these up just a couple of months ago, and they're just handy. Now the 2 smaller sets, one's metric, one's SAE, so you get both of them. You got everything covered on those smaller sizes. It comes with a nice 1/4-inch ratchet as well as an extension, several bits that you can use as well as those sockets, again in this VersaStack case, which all lock together. If you want a set that's slightly bigger, comes with a bigger extension, has a few more sockets, this is a good option as well. For the price of each one of these, it was a no-brainer for me to buy them, either throw them in the truck or keep around the shop. Next hand tool that I think is just super handy as a shirt pocket, is this Cobalt electric screwdriver. Comes with a bunch of bits as well as an extension there. You can use it with or without the extension. The extension is magnetic, and you can just keep your bits in there. It will also work with any of your 1/4-inch driver bits if you so choose. We got a forward, we have a reverse, and it has an LED light that activates when you push the button. Why I think these are important, especially around a shop, especially if you're installing like router bases and things like that. You don't really want to use something like an impact because it can be too powerful and strip out that aluminum base that's on most all routers. So you want to make sure to not over torque them. It's nice just to have an electric screwdriver around. And this is one of Lowe's hottest selling items right now, with thousands of them being sold every week. Pretty crazy because it's a crazy value. Next, the Cobalt router and router table combo. This is a combo kit. You get the fixed base router, which you can use as a standalone router, and you get the router table. This is a solid value for what you're getting here because you're getting the table, comes with the fence. It also comes with a nice little bit guard as well as the legs. You just simply attach those. The setup's very fast. One cool thing is it does have a power switch on and off here. You simply turn your router on, flip the switch, and then you can control the power of the router from here. And you'll notice that the router does have soft start, which we like. And I do like this function here. There is a little safety key that you can pull off of there if you're in a shop with small kids or something, you don't want to mess with it, you can remove that. This is a nice top here, as being a solid aluminum top, and the fence is also aluminum with some plastic sacrificial inserts there. Not only do you get the router and router table, you can use this router standalone just as a fixed base router. Nice micro control depth knob there, as well as you do get an edge guide. And then with the router table, you get 3 different inserts, so depending on your bit size that you need, you can use different inserts there as well. Now where this really shines, a router table like this I think is going to shine, is for smaller parts that you don't necessarily want to use a fixed base router trying to get an edge profile around these things. I just think, you know, this is a much safer option for that. Or if you have very narrow pieces that you need some stability with that top to help slide it along, get that edge profile on there, I think that's where this really shines. Do I think this is a precision setup router table? No. If you want something like that, you're going to have to spend a lot more money. To get a proper router lift, the fence, the whole precision dialed in, it just costs a lot of money. But for doing edge profiles and small work, this is a solid option. As far as the router table itself goes, very simple to install the router. All you do is 3 little screws right down in there. Now what this does feature is a nice way to adjust the depth from the top. Now a lot of budget level router tables, you have to adjust the underneath. You have to get under there and hold your router just right and lock it in. This one, not the case. It comes with a nice tool. You just insert there and then raise and lower it as you see fit. Now once you do get it in position, you'll need to lock that router. As far as power goes, plenty powerful to do edge profiles and things like that. Also, nice even speed. We get a nice even finish here. Bits make a giant difference on routers and router tables in general. Dust collection, not bad. I just opened up the little fences here, stuck my dust extractor there, just kind of pinched it in there, and it done really well. Overall, not bad. There's 2 minor complaints I have with this router table. Is one, if you want to adjust the speed on your router, you have to kind of reach under and behind there just to adjust that. Not a huge deal. And then the top out of the box is a little sticky. You might want to put some board butter or something like that on top just to help make it a little smooth. Other than that, solid option here, especially with everything you're getting. Oh, because this is aluminum and plastic, you will want to clamp it to your workbench, or you can even mount it. There are screw holes there. I just clamp mine here so it doesn't move. Right now in the month of July, this thing is on sale for a screaming good deal. Check the links in the description, pin, comment, all that stuff if you want to check it out. If you need a small router table for your shop, nice, compact, not going to take up a lot of space, this might be worth looking at. Now, if you're not really much for electric screwdrivers like the Cobalt I showed you, there is a very cool little kit. Very solid. I accidentally bought 2 when I was ordering online, so I got an extra one here. This is a nice little set, and it has a very convenient ratcheting feature. So righty-tighty, lefty-loosey is a little switch right there, or if you put it in the middle, you can just use it like a standard screwdriver. But that ratcheting function, it really does help speed things up, makes things much more convenient, and just about every bit under the sun is going to be in there. So anything for around the shop or house, you'll be covered with Torx, flathead, Phillips, square, all kinds. Also in a VersaStack case. If that's too much to carry around though, Weeha, that's a fun name to say. This tiny little kit comes with not a screwdriver, but it does have bits and a little mini ratchet. But it also does have an impact-ready adapter here that locks these bits in. I've never seen anything like this. When you put that bit in there, you cannot pull that bit out. So a lot of times these little smaller bits have a tendency to fall out or get knocked out, things like that. Not with this. It will lock them in, and you have to pull this little ring back to unlock it. So you don't have to worry about bits falling out. Also, you get this tiny little ratchet. So if you're trying to get into small spaces and different things like that, if you have small projects you're working on, this might be the way to go. It is a 1/4 inch in there, so you can just put regular driver bits in there also. And that little thumb wheel right there makes it super easy to just sort of ratcheting. So if you don't have enough space to ratchet, you could just use your thumb. All in a convenient metal case. It'll literally fit in your pocket. Now this is a Craftsman inflator. I think Craftsman is one of the most underrated cordless power tool brands on the market today. I've got their Craftsman router that I picked up about a year or so ago. It is fantastic, especially for the prices of these kits that you can pick up. And because I already had the router, I decided to pick up the inflator. This has different nozzle attachments on the top, so if you need to air up sports balls or gym equipment like slam balls, or you can even inflate other things like pool floats, things like that. So this is just a super handy to have. But you can also inflate tires, so if you go out and you have a low tire, it's a bummer, now you can just go air it up with one of these. But if you don't have that router, chef's kiss, it is really nice. If you don't have a track saw, and you don't have the budget for a track saw, or if you don't want to spend the money on a track saw, this might be the next best thing. This is the Bora clamp edge. Basically, you can clamp across the length of a sheet of plywood and it gives you a straight edge. You can square it up, clamp it down, and then you have where you can use your regular circular saw to make straight, accurate cuts on a sheet of plywood. You could also buy the sled that goes with this, but I did not. In other words, a sled that fits into your circular saw. I just got the clamp edge because sometimes you just need to clamp something up quickly, make that cut, be done. This could save you a lot of money if you don't want or need a track saw, but you need to cut that plywood dead straight every time. One thing with this bore clamp edge is you can move the clamp in. So if you have thinner than a 4 foot across, you can move that all the way in, clamp up very narrow pieces, or all the way out to 4 feet for a sheet of plywood. Now, obviously this is not a track saw, but it will allow you to give you an edge guide or a guide to make straight cuts on plywood, and it's very fast to set up. The clamp works really well, slides really well, clamps down nice and snug. And of course, because this is solid aluminum, the way it's formed, it doesn't flex or move in the middle or anything like that. So you're just gonna set your saw right against the edge, and then you'll just push in a little bit of force toward that while making your cut. Makes for a quick, easy setup, not having to buy a track saw to make just cross cuts. If you like any of these tools, links in the description, pin, comment, and of course, scan the QR code with your phone. And if you want a full detailed review of this butter smooth miter saw, please let me know in the comments. Also, if you haven't subscribed, you should do so already. And if you like Lowe's tools, you got to check out that next video right there. Click that box, click in the box, get you the big old virtual fist bump.